This is Teachable Moments with April podcast, and you guessed it, I'm your host, April. If you're a returning listener and a part of the Teachable Moments with April podcast family, welcome back. For those of you who are checking me out for the first time, well, hello and welcome. To everyone listening, look for the teachable moments that are all around you. Enjoy. All right, Miss Mary, we are back. All right. So what are we going to talk about today, Miss Mary?
I would like to talk about the migrants. The $70 million this illustrious mayor wants to get for these migrants. And nothing has been, I haven't heard anything about for the homeless people that's Americans here already. The love for the migrants is overwhelming. What is he gonna do with the $70 million? Is he building homes for them? What is clothing? What is the $70 million?
I don't know. I know that he had several that I haven't looked at. I don't want to say press conferences or announcements, and I don't know. And I know he's big on putting together initiatives and stuff like that. That I believe he spoke on something for homeless people, but I have yet to. Did you hear anything about that?
Only thing I heard about the homeless people that's here. I see that he hired a very attractive Hispanic person to be over it.
Oh, okay.
So I'm assuming she's bilingual and she's gonna do with the homeless people here, and their primary language is English. So I don't know how that's gonna go. But I haven't had, after he gushed and blushed while he was introducing her, I haven't heard anything since.
Well, just in passing, I will hear on the local, just here and there about these initiatives and their names and appointments.
Right.
And so forth and so on. And I really don't know. But I know that what you're talking about, this recent thing that we're talking about, we opened up the episode with the $70 million that is awarded for the migrants. I was telling Miss Mary earlier today that when we were out and about, that I had very briefly looked at a clip that someone had shown for the city council committee, is what it turned out to be. And there was a person that was there. Her last name was Lee. And she was saying something along the effects that she had his vote this time. That's what she said. She approved it this time. But that he needed to be for the $70 million. And that there needed to be more transparency. They needed it, the city council committee, as well as the people of Chicago needed it. And then there was someone else, I don't know, like a representative or something, that was sitting another constituent that was sitting next to her. And when she said about the transparency, then he went on. I don't remember his name, the gentleman's name, but he was going on about he agreed with that. Where is this money going? Although that's interesting and ironic, because this is for who? The migrants. So why are the people that are sitting on the city council committee asking where is it going?
Right.
Like, I guess maybe they meant specifically like transparency, like every, like an itemized.
Which would be good.
But I thought that they were doing that already, allegedly.
I thought so too. That's why when I briefly went across it and I seen $70 million is asked for by Brandon Johnson for the migrants, I thought that and they haven't decided whether they were gonna do it or not.
Right.
But it seemed that they approved it.
So when I was telling Miss Mary, I said, well, I don't know anything about politics. I'm just going to be honest with you. So I told her what I had seen actually yesterday, in passing. And then I said, well, I'm pretty sure that they have to get other people's, it has to be a certain amount of vote. That makes sense. It can't just all hinge on this one individual. Like I said, this woman by the last name of Lee. But a couple of seconds ago, I told Miss Mary that I'd seen on YouTube that they had posted something from either CBS, I think CBS News, and it said that it was at the header for the video, for the news video was that it was approved, that it was actually approved. And so then she suggested that we come on and talk about it. But it's very telling. I don't think it's a big secret. If the people that are actually in politics at this city council meeting are asking him to be more transparent, you would think that they would be more, have the inside track. Why would they be asking for it if they are in fact, they're part, are they not? Am I making sense?
No, see, they should be a part of it. Why would they be asking that?
Right. Now, it's one thing the residents of Chicago, but if they themselves are right there with him, then they seem unclear to me. So what's really going on over there?
God only knows.
Now, the other piece I just forgot, but I was telling Miss Mary, is that I had caught something a couple of days ago, but actually had been posted 6 days ago, and it was actually on News Nation, and it had, I think that's probably the previous, I don't know when his term ends, the Alderman Lopez. They had him on there, and he was actually, this was the name of this particular segment, was that he was basically saying that there was some form of cover-up. That was what it said. Cover up on the end of Mayor Johnson in regards to everything migrant, especially when it came to infectious diseases such as measles, mumps, TB. The newer thing is TB, but it's actually what I found out from looking at that entire segment was that it actually, they had issues, some substantial issues since last year, August of 2023, but it was suppressed in the news. And that when they were actually had people, the migrants, which we were all perplexed, the residents, the majority of the residents that I know, of why they were housing them or keeping them in police stations. So the key piece to this is that a lot of the officers in these stations started to contract measles, TB, mumps, and a variety of other infectious diseases, and that was also suppressed.
Right.
Then he went on to say that I forget the beautiful child, I don't know, he's from Venezuela, who's 5 or 6 years old, and he passed away. He said that he actually saw the conditions in which they were being housed, and I forgot what he said it used to be. I don't know, was it a warehouse? I don't remember, but it was not up to code.
Wow.
And it was very deplorable. And that's why the young boy, along with probably, we don't know how many people, actually, we just heard about that one little boy, actually contracted what he did, and he passed away. That they're actually, the sites that they're picking, some of these sites are not livable.
Well, why do people keep coming here? They have cell phones and everything else.
This is something that
why they keep coming here to live under deplorable condition? Could their conditions back home be worse than here?
You know, we've gone around and around with this, and I don't know with 70 million more. I mean, you would think that it's something not right. It's just I think that that's just the bottom line. Something's not right, and I just feel in my spirit somehow this money is being funneled back to themselves, because there's no way. They didn't help these people before.
Why can't they help them in their country?
Exactly. I think they want them out of their country so that they can gain claim to the resources.
Oh my God.
I want them to exit their countries in order to somehow gain some more foothold. They have sanctions in
Right.
every country, but something they want to gain access somehow and corral them. I know there's a lot going on with them, and there are ones over here, and they act a certain way, and they talk a certain way, and they interact with the people that are here, especially in the black and brown communities.
Mhm.
People who are Hispanic that are already here, who actually came here through legalization, immigration. However they did it, they are also up in arms, but also the African Americans and other minorities that are already here. We all migrated here from one place to another. Okay, so we're all, if we're going to look at this, we're all migrants. Okay, one way or the other. Okay, but something is not right, and they keep asking for millions and billions of dollars, and then we keep finding out about these discrepancies and disparities of how some of these people are actually living and existing. So where they keep asking, is the money going? It has to be going back to them. There's no way. I don't know how they're doing it. I don't know how, but there's no way that this it doesn't add up. It doesn't add up.
It makes no sense.
And then he keeps getting approved for all of this money, but then all this stuff is little by little being uncovered.
Exactly.
So where is the money going? Then you have healthcare and different things. You have what I talked about before in a previous episode. I don't know if Miss Mary knows about this. Is favorite healthcare staffing. Now I just did a very surface episode about it, and I'm saying it within its name, healthcare. So why if they have an actual entity that gives healthcare and has to do with immunization, vaccines, and so forth and so on, why are all these outbreaks happening? And why they made it seem like it was recently, but it wasn't. It was actually from last year. I feel like it's even before then.
Yes.
Okay, so what is favorite healthcare staffing actually doing, or in this case not doing? But they're getting paid all this money. That's the bare minimum. And then they did this big push that I was not aware of. I don't know. I didn't give a lot of thought to it. I didn't know they were going to push so hard, and they got the kids in school.
Exactly.
Right away, since they got here, just pushed them into the school system, but they did not have immunization.
But just think about it. As a parent, I know you can't get your child through the front
They won't
door
let you. No.
without immunization
They
records. You
have to
cannot.
have
And
that.
if it's not up to date, you have to take your child to the pediatrician and get them updated before. They won't even let you stay in the classroom till you get it done.
But they just seem like under the cover of night.
Exactly.
It seemed like they were all just like this big, humongous push. And I was kind of surprised when they were talking about all of these kids that were already in school. I'm like, wait. And then in New York, I should know about here, I kept hearing about waivers. They were issued waivers that were either 60-day waivers or 90-day waivers to give them time to get these immunizations for the children.
Why do you do that?
But then you have this big chunk, 60 to 90 days. They're sitting up in school and
pass all the germs on to the other ones.
Then the other thing that I had researched, Miss Mary, was that I looked up the TB vaccine.
Okay.
Allegedly, the TB vaccine is not, they say, it's not popular here in the States, but it's popular in South America and Central America and other countries. So why do they have, if they're giving it in their countries allegedly and it's popular over there but not here, why do they have TB then? I didn't get that. Maybe I don't have the intellect to understand that.
I think you do.
So I was like, okay, so if the vaccine is not popular here, the actual vaccine for it that is over there, they have it and they give it, why do these individuals actually are coming here and they have TB? Now, I think they tried to explain it by saying that it's some kind of latent inside, and they're not necessarily infectious, but they are carriers.
Exactly.
Still doesn't sound right to me.
It does not.
So I'm like, okay. So yeah, so he has been approved. Okay. Fresh off the press, for this 70 million more of money for the migrants. But then when we're out and about, we see them in the street. They're still doing it. And now they're like in the parking lots of Home Depot, Chiclets, and they
water.
They have the thing on wheels, and they are going hard to sell candy, cookies, water, pop, chips, and everything else. And I'm still like, okay. Now I think in passing I saw something, I didn't follow up on it, that he was also working really hard to get them to get these work permits to push it on through. But this money,
they don't have any place to live, so they need a work permit.
That's what he put up there, said work
permit. So where are they going to live and take showers and so forth?
I don't know.
If they got to go to a job the next day. That makes no sense.
None of it does. That's why
I know none of it did, but that even worse. How the person you're gonna push them through to get a work permit? Mm-hmm. They have no place to live. Mm-mm. Okay.
I don't know. And like what you're saying in regards to people that are already here, I have to do a little bit more research. But I seen something on another YouTuber's channel. That she got from someone else off of social media. It's low down, and it had I don't know if people are familiar with the celebrity and the mogul named Dame Dash, but he was actually here in Chicago. I don't know if he's still here, and there's some type of facility that allegedly rehabilitates young people. I'm thinking they are African American. And I don't know if it's on the south side. I don't know where this facility is at, but it has young people from 18 to 25. And it kind of gave me the impression it's more psychiatric too. Mm-hmm. And what it looked like was, I won't even say it's a prison. It has no windows. And they were actually not allowed. He had other people too from Chicago with him. One of them was a principal that I vaguely remember he lost his job. I forget for what reason. He had other activists. It looked like he had some Muslim brothers there as well. They denied them to get in there. But they went around the perimeter of this facility. I don't know where it is in Chicago. And when I read the comments, people that actually, I got the impression, were from Chicago as well. They said, where is this place at? Never seen it before. It has no windows. No windows. It's very strange. So what they said, Dame Dash as well as some of the other activists, preachers and stuff like that, said that they are doing some things to the young people, and it's basically perpetuating a cycle of trauma. Because once they get out, you don't know what they're dealing with in there. And they're heavily sedated. There's some things going on. There. So they contacted, I don't know where they're going to go with that, some other people in legislation so that they can gain access and they can have some talk so that they can somehow, because it's not healthy.
No, it's not.
It's not healthy. And they said it is, somebody on the inside, I get the feeling, told them some things, said it is deplorable. They have mice, they have roaches and rodents in there.
That's horrible.
Okay, and they are heavily sedated, have some kind of medications that are so high, they're like just, and once they get out, they're not going to be able to really function in society. So you're keeping this cycle going.
Exactly.
And a lot of them are African American males. So they would not allow them access, even though they had got permission from someone, a legislation or politician. So they said they're going to go to the mayor. I don't know how that's going to work out because we're just talking about him now. They might have to go to the governor. I don't know about that either. Not very optimistic. Okay, so those are people that actually, young people that are actually from here. So it seems like they're living under similar. So who's going to help these people? Who's going to help the migrants? Who's going to help the youth of our communities? They're living in like a big box. There's no windows, there's no sunlight, there's no, do they ever get out? I mean, like, I had no clue what he was talking about, and I felt bad that I didn't even know. It just looked like it had a sign. It was very vague. I forget the name. I couldn't see it clearly. and they were out there, and they said that they weren't going to stop until they gained access to see what was inside. But they spoke on something about the inside, so that made me think there's somebody on the inside that's kind of getting in their ear, because how else would they have known?
There you go.
So yeah. All right, Miss Mary. Anything else?
No, but I thank you for bringing this information to you and following up on it. There's so many things does not make sense. You cannot tell me that the leaders, although they seem to be liars, do not seem
L is for liars, not leaders. Leaders.
That they are not aware of this, and when everyday people are wondering, like, what is going on? Nothing. Thank you, April.
You're welcome. You were just listening to Teachable Moments with April podcast. I truly hope you enjoyed this episode. We invite you to stay connected with us on our other social media platforms: TikTok, Pinterest, Instagram, Threads, YouTube, and now Rumble. You can also leave us feedback in 3 ways: in the Interact Features section on the Spotify app, voice messages to the podcast through our customized link, or at teachablemomentswithapril@gmail.com.